You've probably heard the saying, the heart wants what it wants. It's usually a line from a love song or a dramatic movie, talking about feelings and emotions. But what does our literal, physical heart want? Well, mostly, it wants nutrients and exercise. Today, we're diving deep into the nutrients. Think about it. Your heart is the captain of your entire circulatory system. It pumps blood, delivering everything your body needs to function and getting rid of all the waste. It works 86,400 seconds a day, 365 days a year. It never takes a break. And while our hearts are such loyal caretakers for the rest of our bodies, they need to be taken care of too. In fact, their health should be a top priority. So today, we are going through 5 of the most important nutrients for the health and function of your heart and the entire circulatory system. We'll also talk about which foods are great sources for them. Stick around to the end, because I'll also explain how pretty much everything needs to be in sync for your heart to work at its best. Even nutrients that might not seem directly related. Let me know in the comments which organ or body system you'd like me to cover next. Alright, let's get into the ingredients for a healthy heart. First up, number 1, potassium. So many minerals are needed to keep the heart pumping, but potassium is a perfect example of why they are so crucial. As an electrolyte, it plays a huge role in regulating your blood pressure and your heartbeat. To understand how it helps with blood pressure, we need a quick refresher on something called the sodium-potassium pump. This is a special protein in your cell membranes that is constantly moving sodium out of your cells and potassium into them. Why? To maintain the right amount of fluid both inside and outside the cells. C. Water is attracted to sodium. So, when you have too much sodium, the fluid volume in your blood increases, which puts more pressure on your blood vessels. Potassium helps by encouraging the removal of this excess sodium, not just from the cells, but from your body entirely. By signaling your kidneys to flush it out, this helps relax your blood vessels, and you guessed it, lowers your blood pressure. Now, what about your heart rate? The potassium that enters your heart cells has a very specific job. During a heartbeat, it's actually calcium that flows into the cell to electrically trigger the heart to contract. At the same time, potassium flows out of the cells to maintain balance. Since both calcium and potassium are positive ions, if you don't have enough potassium, these electrical signals can get disrupted. This can lead to an irregular heartbeat, meaning blood isn't being pumped as effectively as it should be. Low potassium levels, a condition called hypokalemia, can increase your risk for pretty much any heart condition you can think of: heart disease, stroke, you name it. And here is the kicker. It is believed that most people do want to get enough potassium in their diet. So, I'd highly recommend picking a few potassium-rich foods and making them a regular part of your meals. Some reliable options are nuts, like pistachios, almonds, and cashews, and seeds like pumpkin and flax, avocado, spinach, potatoes, and of course, bananas are also fantastic. If you eat animal products, the best sources come from the sea, like salmon, tuna, sardines, and shellfish. Land meat have some, but noticeably less. Next on our list, at number 2, is monounsaturated fat. How to keep our tickers in top shape. We're going to explore 3 incredible nutrients that play a starring role in cardiovascular health. So, grab a notepad and let's get started. First up, let's talk about fat. Now, I know fat has a complicated reputation, but not all fats are created equal. While there's been a lot of debate about which fats are bad, there are 2 types that scientists and nutritionists universally agree are fantastic for your heart. Today, we're focusing on the first one. Monounsaturated fat. Its biggest claim to fame is its positive effect on cholesterol. But before we go further, what even is cholesterol? It's a waxy, fat-like substance that's actually essential for life. Your body uses it to build cells, produce certain hormones, and even make vitamin D. Here's the catch. Your liver is a cholesterol-making machine, producing all that your body typically needs. Any extra cholesterol you get from your diet is usually surplus to requirements. Now, cholesterol doesn't just float around in your blood by itself. It's transported by proteins, creating packages called lipoproteins. You've probably heard of them: LDL, or low-density lipoprotein, and HDL, or high-density lipo. These are what people mean when they talk about bad and good cholesterol. LDL gets its bad reputation because when you have too much of it compared to HDL, it can start to build up on the walls of your arteries. This buildup is called plaque, and the condition is known as atherosclerosis. Think of it like a traffic jam in your body's highways. This plaque narrows the arteries, restricting blood flow and forcing your heart to work much harder. Over time, this can seriously increase your risk of blood clots, heart disease, or even a stroke. So where does our hero, monounsaturated fat, come in? It works wonders by increasing the number of LDL receptors on your liver cells. These receptors are like little docking stations that grab onto LDL particles in your blood and pull them out of circulation for processing. It's a brilliant cleanup system. By simply replacing some of the excess saturated fats in your diet with monounsaturated fats, you can significantly lower your LDL cholesterol levels, giving your heart a much-needed break. Honestly, a big part of the benefit comes from the fact that most of us just are getting enough of this healthy fat to begin with. So, where can you find it? Some of the absolute best sources are plant-based. Think olives and extra virgin olive oil, creamy avocados, and nuts like macadamia, hazelnuts, and pecans. And of course, the oils derived from them are packed with it. If you're looking for animal sources, your best bet is fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardine. But don't forget that eggs and most meats also contain a decent amount. Alright, moving on to our second heart-healthy hero, soluble fiber. Fiber comes in two main types, soluble and insoluble. As its name suggests, soluble fiber dissolves in water. When it reaches your small intestine, it forms a thick, gel-like substance. This gel is where the magic happens. One of its primary jobs is to bind with cholesterol and bile acids in your gut. By trapping them, it prevents them from being absorbed into your bloodstream. Instead, they get escorted out of your body as waste. This simple action helps keep your LDL, cholesterol levels in check, and reduces the risk of that dangerous plaque buildup in your arteries. But that's not all soluble fiber does. That gel I mentioned also slows down digestion. This means that glucose, or sugar, from your food is absorbed more slowly and steadily into your bloodstream. This helps prevent those sharp, sudden spikes in blood sugar. You've probably heard that chronic blood sugar spikes are bad news. They can damage your blood vessels over time, making them stiff and less flexible. This impedes blood flow and raises the risk of heart complications. So, by smoothing out that glucose absorption, soluble fiber is doing your blood vessels a huge favor. There's more. Soluble fiber also acts as a prebiotic. Dies mansit. As food for the trillions of good bacteria living in your gut. When these beneficial bacteria feast on soluble fiber, they produce compounds called short-chain fatty acids. These fatty acids have been shown to improve insulin sensitivity and even enhance blood flow throughout the body. And finally, a benefit we can all appreciate. Soluble fiber helps you feel full and satisfied after a meal. This feeling of satiety can help prevent overeating and discourage unwanted weight gain. And, as we know, maintaining a healthy weight is crucial because carrying extra pounds means your heart has to pump harder every single minute of every day. So, where can you get your fill of soluble fiber? The good news is that any plant food with fiber will have some, but for the richest sources, look to grains like oats, barley, and amaranth. Many fruits are fantastic, especially berries. And you can't go wrong with leafy green vegetables and a variety of root vegetables. Now, for our third and final nutrient for today. Folate. Folate, also known as vitamin B9, is one of the many B vitamins. While the B vitamin family is famous for its role in energy metabolism and development, a few of them, including folate, play a more direct and critical role in protecting your heart. To understand why, we need to talk about something called homocysteine is an amino acid. But it's not one of the 20 building blocks your body uses to make proteins. It's actually a byproduct created during the metabolism of an essential amino acid called methionine. On its own, homocysteine isn't helpful. In fact, high levels of it can be quite harmful, directly damaging the lining of your blood vessels through inflammation, calcification, and atherosclerosis, and it even increases the risk of blood clots. It's a real troublemaker. Luckily, Your body has a system to deal with it. It can get rid of homocysteine through two processes: remethylation and in these pathways, homocysteine is either converted back into the useful amino acid methionine or transformed into another amino acid. But here is the key. These conversion processes can happen without the help of specific nutrients. Vitamin B12 is a crucial cofactor for the remethylation pathway, and vitamin B6 is essential for the transulfuration pathway. But folate is the one that gets the whole party started. In its active form, folate donates a special chemical group, methyl group 2. With the help of vitamin B12, this converts homocysteine back into methionine. This newly made methionine can then be used to create another important molecule. When levels of this new molecule get high, it triggers the second pathway. This pathway, with the help of vitamin B6, converts homocysteine into cysteine, which is another amino acid your body needs. So, to bring this all back around, without enough folate, this entire elegant system breaks down. Homocysteine levels can rise, leaving it free to wreak havoc on your cardiovascular system. Now, you might think you can find B vitamins easily in meats, and that's often true. But folate can be a bit more elusive. Some of its best dietary sources include liver, beans, lentils, peanuts, seaweed, and especially leafy green vegetables like spinach and kale. As a quick side note, folate also helps your body produce nitric oxide, a molecule that helps relax and widen your blood vessels, which is another fantastic benefit for your heart. So there you have it. 3 powerful nutrients: monounsaturated fats, soluble fiber, and folate that. Let's talk about nitric oxide. It's not a nutrient you eat, but a gas compound your body makes that acts as a chemical messenger. One of its superstar jobs is improving heart health through something called That's a fancy word for relaxing and widening your blood vessels. Think of it like this. Nitric oxide tells the smooth muscles in your vessel walls to chill out. It does this by lowering the calcium concentration inside them. This simple action increases blood flow and makes it easier to deliver nutrients everywhere, so your heart doesn't have to work as hard. This is also why getting enough nitric oxide is consistently shown to boost athletic performance. Pretty cool, right? But if you can't eat nitric oxide directly, how do you get it? Your body has 2 main pathways. The first is through dietary nitrates. You eat foods rich in nitrates, and the bacteria in your mouth convert them into nitrites. Then, the acidic environment of your stomach, with a little help from vitamin C, turns those nitrites into nitric oxide. The second route involves an amino acid called arginine. Your body can make some arginine on its own, but you can also get it easily from food. Cells take in arginine and use special enzymes to oxidize it, and boom, you're left with nitric oxide. There's another amino acid, citrulline, which your body can convert into arginine, giving you another way to fuel this process. For many people, especially when we're young, nitric oxide levels aren't a big concern. However, as we age, our natural production can decline, making a deficiency more common. So, it's a smart move to include foods that provide the building blocks for it. For dietary nitrates, think beetroot and dark leafy greens like kale, spinach, lettuce, and chard. As for arginine, it's abundant in most protein sources. You'll find it in animal foods like meat, poultry, fish, dairy, and eggs. And for plant-based options, look to soy, nuts, seeds, beans, and lentils. Basically, anywhere you find protein, you'll likely find arginine. And remember, watermelon is famously rich in it, which, as I mentioned, your body can turn into arginine. So, along with soluble fiber, potassium, monounsaturated fats, and B vitamins, nitric oxide rounds out what I consider the top 5 components for heart health. But as you can imagine, it takes a village to keep your heart pumping strong. There are so many other nutrients that play a crucial role. For instance, calcium is the spark that starts the heartbeats, the electrical trigger for the heart muscle to contract. Just as its presence is vital for the pump, its removal is essential for the heart to relax. Then there's magnesium, the heart's rhythm keeper. It regulates the heart's electrical signals and contractions by managing the flow of ions in and out of the heart cells. Essentially, it stops too much calcium from rushing in and too much potassium from leaking out, keeping everything in a steady, stable rhythm. Zinc also plays a part by regulating how calcium is released into the heart cells in the first place. Plus, it acts as a heart protector and helps relax blood vessels. And of course, you can't forget sodium, potassium's eternal partner, playing the opposite role in managing blood pressure and the heartbeat's electrical dance. We've also touched on how vitamin B12 and B6 are essential for converting hummus, a substance that can be harmful to blood vessels in high amounts. And what about fats? Omega-3 fatty acids, or another type of fat, that are undeniably beneficial for your heart. Honestly, they're great for your whole body. I gave the spotlight to monounsaturated fats earlier, mainly because you need them in larger quantities. Insoluble fiber is also a team player. While its role isn't as direct as soluble fiber, it helps manage weight and blood sugar, which indirectly supports your heart. And what is the heart made of? Muscle. That's where protein comes in. It provides the building blocks for the heart's tissue itself. Plus, your body uses protein to create all the hormones and enzymes needed for every single action we've had discussed. Iron is another key player. It's a component of myoglobin, which stores oxygen in muscle cells, including the heart, and hemoglobin, which carries oxygen in your red blood cells. Delivering oxygen is one of the main reasons your heart pumps blood in the first place. But wait, there's more. Vitamin K and phosphorus help prevent calcium from building up in your blood vessels, keeping them clear and flexible. And we have a whole team of antioxidants. Vitamins C, E, and A. Plus, copper, manganese, and selenium. They all work to protect the heart and the rest of your cardiovascular system from damage. Finally, the rest of the B vitamins are essential for producing the energy your heart needs to beat, second by second, day after day. It's truly a collaborative effort. Since the heart impacts everything else in your body, it makes perfect sense that so many things contribute to its function in return. For many, heart health is the best indicator of overall health. I really urge you to make a conscious effort to give your heart what it needs so it can keep beating strong for you. And just as important as what you eat is what you do. Get out there and get your heart rate up on a regular basis. Whether it's a brisk walk, a bike ride, or dancing in your living room, your future self will thank you for it. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, I'd love it if you'd subscribe, as I plan on making more content like this. Feel free to share it with someone you think might find it useful or interesting. And let me know down in the comments what other organs or body systems you'd like me to cover next. As always, remember to do your own research and be an advocate for your own body. You only get one.